Rick, should we get started?
Yes, I was just going to say that. We don't have no new entrance into the room, so I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our guest, Cindee Hudson, and to most of us, she's more family than guest, and so I think this is going to be a great reunion in a way, and we're going to really enjoy this. I'm going to switch myself over to the speaker view, and there she is, and I'm going to mute everybody, and when we're in a state of where everybody's muted, if you press the space bar, you'll be able to speak briefly. It's like the push and hold on a walkie-talkie. So if you have something to say and it's appropriate, then go ahead and press that to speak. But in the meantime, we're going to give Cindee the floor.
Thank you so much. When Marilyn and I talked about my being the speaker today, I kind of went, I have to record it. I'm not going to see anyone. So I'm very, very thankful for this. You all look beautiful. This is great. Well, let's get right to today's lesson, which is soul groups. So have you ever had someone come into your life that you just immediately felt like you had known them forever? I think we've all had that. So there's a deep and immediate bond that's just unexplainable. So this can be on a personal level, it can be on a professional level, or in a group that has brought you together, maybe due to a shared purpose or interest. Chances are you have known these people for many, many lifetimes, and they're part of your soul group. So what is a soul group? A soul group is a group of infinite beings of consciousness who help us learn life lessons. Many have been with us in previous incarnations and have spent the majority of time with us in the ethereal realms. But what exactly is a soul group? A soul group is comprised of a single person or a group of people that your soul energetically resonates with on a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual level at any given moment. These people are members of the same spirit family as you, and they share an intensely strong bond with you that transcends time and space itself. Such a deep and harmonious connection goes beyond sharing the same surface-based personality taste, hobbies, and opinions. It's an intense, magnetic, and spiritual bond you feel that is inexplicable to the mind. Therefore, your soul group is often described as being comprised of souls that are cut from the same energetic cloth as you. But this deep connection isn't necessarily romantic. There are many different types of soul groups that you can develop, including soul friends, soul mates, kindred spirits, and twin flames. But they're all fundamentally the same thing with different functions and unique purposes. Essentially, a soul connection happens when two people of the same vibrational frequency energetically overlap and share each other's thoughts, feelings, values, and dreams. Although you might come from different cultures, races, or opposite backgrounds, you will immediately sense an ancient and strong connection in your bones, blood, and very soul. So several of you have heard me speak about being on the other side before we're born into this plane of existence, and how we sit around a very beautiful conference table with God and members of our soul group. We make decisions as to what we want our soul to learn this time around, and members of our soul group are sitting there and they agree to help us in this because of their love for us. Even when we make choices that are going to be so difficult, they agree, and that's how we have soul contracts. We also choose our parents and the type of lifestyle we will live. Many people are just aghast when they realize and understand that they made these decisions, but they knew making these choices would give them the chance to learn many life lessons and to grow spiritually. So once you're born, it's just a matter of learning from your weaknesses and using your abilities to the utmost capacity. Well, why do we have soul groups? To me, the most valuable social experience a person can have is meeting a member of their soul group. The defining quality of this type of person is that they make it impossible for you to remain the same person by the time they make their exit. Relationships, like nature itself, have many seasons. Uniting with a soul group member can last a few hours on a plane trip or end after 60 years of friendship. Sometimes only physical death will end, if only momentarily, such connections. So members of your soul group will appear in your life to teach you a lesson and to catalyze your spiritual awakening. However, we are not always ready for our soul group. But even this is a lesson unto itself. For some people, coming across a member of their soul group will feel like hell, if you will, especially if such a person is weighed down by negative mindsets, dogma, trauma, and the unwillingness to move beyond unconscious behavior. On the other hand, for some people, meeting members of the soul group will feel like heaven, as can be seen in the case of twin flame and soulmate encounters. Essentially, how you feel about your soul group will be determined by how open you are to changing, growing, and moving past fear. But the question remains, why do we have soul groups? Well, metaphysically speaking, soul groups are a natural product of the flow of spirit. If you look at the ocean, you'll notice that sometimes clusters of waves arise. The same goes for soul groups. We are all spirit, but we are also broken down into many different soul groups. These soul groups carry out certain roles, namely to help one another embody the purpose of their souls. In other words, your soul family is here to help you learn, grow, and experience self-realization or enlightenment. By finding your soul group, you grow at not only an individual level, but also a collective level. Each plan, each path is equally as important in the overall evolution of the whole. It is only through this profound experience of relating to one another on soul level that drastic change can occur on both an inner and outer level. So I'd like to share with you 5 different soul groups. And soul group 1 is the source group. So firstly, it's important to understand that we are all source energy. In a sense, everything in this universe is part of source energy, which makes us all connected. We know that. Although we are connected to everything in the universe, all our souls chose Earth as the perfect place to materialize. Remember that choosing. And together, we are all responsible for life on Earth. Every action and every thought create a ripple in the cosmos that affects everyone. When we do harm to ourselves or to others, this energy goes out there and shapes the world that we live in. Just the same, when we do something loving for ourselves or others, that energy also shapes the world that we live in. And we're very strongly seeing both of these during this pandemic. So, soul group 2, that's our soul community. Your soul community is a group of souls that share similar lessons and themes in life. Every member of your soul community would have to come to Earth with the intention of learning how to grow in a particular area and how to bring new creative ideas or inspirations to a particular field. Members of your soul community are often relatives, friends, co-workers, employees, and people who really inspire you or have the same mission as you. Your soul community can also include significant encounters, like a stranger that helps you when you're having a bad day, or even a particular school teacher that left a lasting impression on you growing up. So basically, your soul community is people who touch your life in a significant way, but perhaps are not permanent features of your life. They can also be people that share the same philosophy as you. Your soul community could be hundreds, even thousands of people depending on the path you have chosen. And it's, you know, we can connect in ways that we've never been able to before. So our soul community can be quite large. So group 3 is soul family. This is the immediate family members that you have chosen to incarnate with in this life. However, this group can also include people that have taken on the role of being like family to you. Members of your soul family often have a close bond and are also here to learn similar lessons and themes as you. It is important to note here that regardless of the relationship with your immediate family, your soul chose to incarnate with them, to reincarnate with them for a particular lesson or experience. So remember that again, before your soul came down to earth, it made agreements with every member of your immediate family to be connected genetically and to experience a similar set of life circumstances. So in higher realms, all of your souls teamed up and understood that coming into a certain gene pool, you were all going to explore certain themes, patterns, and energies together. And soul group 4, those are soulmates. Out of all the soul groups, this one is often the most significant. And when we meet people from this group, we often have a spiritual awakening or feel a deeper spiritual connection. Your soulmate group is around 3 to 9 people, and these souls play a very significant part in your life. Your soul group can include family members, friends, and of course, lovers. These soulmates will leave a lasting impression on your life and will often have a hand in changing your life. Soulmates touch your life on the deepest levels. These are the people that you have had the strongest connections with, and they can also be the people that challenge and push you the most. When you meet a soulmate for the first time, there is often a familiar bond, and perhaps you feel connected in more lives than just this one. Everyone has a group of soulmates that they come to earth with, but not all soulmates are destined to meet or be together. Every soulmate journey is different, but if a member of your soulmate group is present in your life, you will definitely know. So in higher realms, your soulmate group is also one that you train and study with. In fact, you all work together to help each other to learn lessons and experience growth. When you shift out of human form, your soul will connect with your soulmate group in higher realms, and all of you will work together and help each other to understand the lives you lead on earth. In higher realms, your soulmate group is like your support group. You all share a special bond as you are each other's biggest supporters. Now, group 5 is the twin flame. When our souls come to earth, not all of our energy enters into our body. The rest of our energy can remain in higher realms, or it can be transferred into another body. When you have 2 bodies with the same soul energy, it is referred to as twin flame. While everyone has soul energy left in higher realms that they are connected to, having a twin flame on earth can actually be pretty rare. There's a lot out there about, I'm going to make an observation here, particularly in the younger generations, when I'll just say they hook up with somebody and, ooh, that's my twin flame. Well, it's gotten this connotation of it being within a romantic relationship. And so if you want to look at that further, I say there's information out there, but that's what I've been seeing, that a lot of people are looking at it that way, where it's actually sharing energy. Okay? So reincarnating in 2 different bodies is often a lot of hard work for a soul, which is why it is often only seen in advanced souls that are looking to come to earth for rapid learning. It is possible to have more than one twin flame. However, humanity has perhaps not reached that level of consciousness just yet. Twin flames often find each other during their time on earth, but the purpose of their connection is not just romantic, as commonly believed. When twin flames come together, it is often for a higher cause, and to impart knowledge and wisdom to earth. Twin flame connections can be extremely intense, but underneath all that intensity, there may also be a feeling that you are both coming together for a higher cause. So there are a few ways to tell if you've met someone who resonates with you on a soul level. So here are a few things that you might notice. So your eye contact is deep and engaging. You're not afraid to make eye contact, and it doesn't feel awkward at all. When you make eye contact, there is something familiar that you both share, something comforting, something ancient. It's almost as though when you make eye contact, you're tapping into a deeper truth that you both silently understand and share. And two, they will be more soul-centric than egocentric. Members of your soul group will not be interested in egocentric pursuits such as fame, status, money, and glory. Instead, they will be more soulful, more spiritually mature. For example, they might be interested in conscious living, meditation, healthy eating, yoga, helping the environment, and so forth. And three, you're just magnetically drawn to them. For no apparent reason, members of your soul group will pop out to you like sore thumbs. You will be immediately drawn to them and their energy. Even if you lose touch with them, they will emerge in your life over and over again. You've probably all had someone in your life that you maybe don't see or speak with one another for a long, long time. And when you do touch base with one another again, you just pick up like that time has not lapsed at all. Okay. And four, both of you speak the same language. When speaking, both of you share similar thoughts and insights, and you're on the same page emotionally. It's not uncommon for you to both repeat the same thoughts and words as if you're mirroring each other's minds. 5, we've talked about this. You feel as though you've known them your entire life. You've never felt so comfortable and understood by another person. Deep down, your connection feels timeless. Even when you first meet this person, you felt a strange sense of recognition and familiarity. And 6, you always feel energized around them. Whenever you spend time with a member of your soul tribe, you'll feel energetically uplifted rather than drained. And 7, they appear in your life when you most need guidance. The moment you're open to growing beyond your current layers of fear and limiting beliefs is the moment you'll attract a member of your soul group. 8 hours, you talk with them for hours and it feels like minutes. Time is completely relative when you speak with someone from your soul group. You enjoy talking with them so much that time disappears very quickly. 9, they reflect your best qualities. Your soul group reflects your best qualities, but they will also challenge you to see and embrace your greatest flaws. Sometimes challenging you will include creating difficult circumstances for you to learn from or being brutally honest with you, even if it hurts. Whatever the case, you can count on your soul group to help you authentically grow. And 10, you share similar life experiences. Themes such as abandonment, abuse, isolation, and other struggles will be shared between you and your soul family. Each life theme will be used as a basis for growth, advice, and mutual support. 11, your soul feels nourished in their presence. There are some people in life who seem to weigh heavily on your spirit. Your soul group is the opposite. You will always feel seen, understood, loved, and uplifted by members of your soul tribe. And 12, you can be your raw and authentic self with them. There's no need to hide, fake, or pretend around your soul group. Your soul group honors and celebrates the authentic you, both on a personal and a soul level. You might only meet one person from your soul group, or you might meet all of them. But this isn't important. What matters is having the experience of meeting those who share your purpose and mission on Earth to support our collective evolution as a species. Now, you might be thinking that it's maybe a little bit challenging to meet a member of your soul group while we're under these stay-at-home orders and life is really different for us. But I'd like to share just a couple of stories that I have seen that shows that we are not limited in meeting members of our soul group. One that comes to mind for me is, I don't know where it was, but there were neighbors across the street. One neighbor was a very young woman. The other neighbor was quite elderly. Well, they started out just waving to one another across the street. Then they started putting up signs in the window. How are you? I'm fine, or I'm good. And ended up that the young woman baked cookies and took them across the street and set them on the porch. Now they're communicating in different ways now, and I will just venture a guess that they are never going to lose contact while they're on Earth. So I'm pretty sure they're members of one another's soul group. The other one was a young woman that wanted to get out of her apartment, so she went up on the roof of her building and was reading a book. And there's a young gentleman that could see her, and he thought, well, she looks pretty good. Well, he has a drone. So he sent the drone down to her and asked for her phone number, and they have been communicating by text and even had dinner together, he on his balcony, she on the roof of the building. So it is very, very possible during this time to meet and find members of our soul group. So I hope you have an opportunity to find yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindee.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful to just be able to see your wonderful faces.
Well, it's nice to see yours too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindee, so much.
You're welcome. You're
Thank you.
welcome. And you know, I love doing this because it helps me. I get to go study and think about these things also, and members of my group, and so I really appreciate the opportunity.
Mhm.
At this point, are you able to answer questions?
Well, I can try.
Okay. So for those of
I'll
you who
take
want,
questions.
for those of you who have a question, leave yourself muted, but press the space bar while you ask your question. That way we won't have cacophony here. And then I would like to point out that this will be posted later today, and you can review this. Matter of fact, I'm going to listen to it again because it was pretty fascinating, but also I felt a little distracted about so I want to listen to it in the quiet where I can think about this deeply, and it's important information. So I'll get off here. Does anybody else have a question they'd like to ask?
It wasn't really a question, it was just a comment. I think that when I first heard that we choose who our parents are and the different people in our lives, and I thought that was opened up all kinds of doors for me, because even if they weren't adequate as far as I was concerned, I chose them, you know, and there was lessons there. And so, you know, they did the best they could in my perspective, and I did the best I could. And, you know, any kind of hard feelings that I had towards them or towards anybody else, actually, I'm able to dissipate those much more easily. And you know, the people that come and really cause you a heck of a lot of trouble, and unhappiness and stuff, I mean, but they're, you know, once you realize that the lessons are there, you know, after you get over the first part of being so pissed off, then you know, you can forgive them and keep on going. And I think that it's wonderful to live life from that perspective. So that I really enjoy that thought. I just wanted to let you know. That's all.
Well, the ones that tend to give us the most trouble in our lives are the ones that love us the most. Because when we sit up there and we go, okay, this is what I want to experience because I want my soul to grow, and they'll, okay, I love you so much. I will come and play that role for you. So it's another way to look at them, is that, wow, they love me so much, they'll do that for me.
Hi, Cindee.
Hi.
This is Nomita. Hi. I actually joined a little late, so maybe you've answered this, but is our soul group the same as our ancestors?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I have not looked into that, so I'm not able, I don't feel, I could say something, but I choose not to do that. I have not looked into it. That's a really great question. Our soul group for us, we do share many lifetimes together. So yeah, there could be that possibility. When you research that, Nomita, let me know.
Yeah, I will. But very, very good talk. It was really insightful. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's really wonderful how when you meet people that you just can't stand, and they can't really stand you. It's really wonderful to know, oh, I wonder what the lesson is here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, you know, as we grow and mature spiritually, that's how we look at it. Not like, ugh, you know, it's like, oh, what's the lesson here?
I have one other thing to say. I think when I first walked into Unity, and that was almost 20 years ago now, I think I felt like I was home, and it was a wonderful experience for me. So I would think that the people that in Unity is whichever category they fit into, you know, that feels like my soul group.
Yes. Yeah. It is a wonderful, wonderful place. And I would encourage you to maybe not get too caught up in the different soul groups. It was just to give a little bit of understanding, because I feel, well, of course, that part of that source group, but so we can be in more than one group. Just depends on what our lesson is for that particular time.
Isn't it wonderful how in life there's many chapters to our lives, and many people come into our lives. Some come and stay, some don't, but each has a part in that choosing that we chose, and we have to remember, I should have been more choosy maybe.
Well, how does that go? Too soon old and too late smart?
It's so true.
Oh.
This was a lot of new information for me, and I'm wondering what book or something you could recommend to read more about it.
I'll get in touch with you about that, Lucinda. I gathered information from many different sources, so I will get in touch with you.
Within the Swami order and with Swami Paramahansa Yogananda, you're right on. That comes from our studies, and I'm so thankful for the reminder.
Great.
I could say something about, this is Jackson over here, and hello everybody. I'm glad to get in at least for part of this. I am reading a book right now that at one point was a book study group at Unity in Yakima. It's called The Key to Soul Evolution. And wow, and my wife Cheryl was in that group, and so when I decided I wanted to find out what my soul was, who my real self is, And this whole idea of soul is kind of new to me. I started reading that book, and wow, now we're reading it together. And boy, there's just so much. It's like a whole new world opening up to me as I get to know the concept of that my soul is what I've been calling my higher self or great spirit or whatever. And it's fascinating. So I'm delighted that that's the subject of this talk today. Thank you so much.
And what was the name of the book again?
The Key to Soul Evolution.
Okay. Thank you.
And it's by a woman named, oh boy, Mara, I think is her first name. It's a common name. And the whole book is channeled. And so there's a lot about channeling in this soul business. And these beings that channel through some of these humans seem to know so much more about what's going on out in the universe. And it's like we're being prepared right now to deal with some amazing changes that are coming up for the earth, plus for we humans. So it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Okay, so Nomita, did you wish to speak?
Oh, no, I went. Thank you.
Oh, okay, okay.
This is so cool.
You know, I'll share something with you that when our group went to Lame Deer for the grandmother's meeting, well, it's been a while now. One of the things that was going on in my mind was the difference between, and this came up, so that's why I'm mentioning this, the difference between our soul, you know, coming back for another go round, and our ancestors, our DNA ancestors. So I have ancestors that were Native Americans on the Cherokee on the Trail of Tears to Oklahoma, one of whom died of pneumonia, and her young daughter was taken in by white settlers there and raised. And that's how I got my Cherokee ancestry. And so the question I have in my mind was, okay, this is my DNA ancestor, but what about the people, the soldiers on the Trail of Tears that were forcing the Native Americans on, you know, to do that? Do I have an ancestor, a soul ancestor that was doing that? And how would I reconcile? I mean, where does my loyalty lie? Or maybe that's a crazy way to look at it, maybe a erroneous way to look at it. But there's the two different types of ancestry I'm looking at, and that is probably going to be a mystery until the day I pass over. But that question had come to mind, and nobody really seemed to have an idea how to answer that.
So Rick, is that something that you could ask for answers on during meditation?
Yeah, I guess I could. Yeah. It was really kind of an intellectual question, and so I looked at it like that. I didn't really look at it like something I could resolve through meditation. But good grief, you know, too soon old, too late wise.
Well, it is actually a soul question, even though, you know, we tend to look at them from our mind. But yeah. I'd be interested to see what happens.
Yeah. And one last question that I have for you, Cindee, just what couple of words will describe your talk so I can label it, label the video?
Well, Rick, if you know me, I'm not really gung-ho on labels, but what soul root, I guess.
Okay.
That's what I titled it, was soul groups. So,
Okay, very good. That's just bookkeeping
since you need to do that.
Yeah. Because, you know, there's going to be people who want to see it again, and like myself, and then there's going to be people who haven't seen it at all and will want to click on it and see the lesson, which I'm gonna edit it so that it comes both ways with the people visiting and just the lesson part.
Okay.
Rick, are you going to put it on YouTube for us?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I like that so much. Then others around the world can share what you shared, Cindee.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually have a young man in Ghana who wants to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that will be great.
We'll make sure you get the link. And
I had something I wanted to say to kind of in response to what Rick was talking about. And from my own life experience, it's kind of like some of those strands come together. You know, you with your Cherokee ancestry, and for me, sort of Irish and English, and the English were not awful to the Irish.
Yeah.
And I have an Irish grandmother, and it's kind of like that comes together in me, and I am living that out. I'm living out the Irish famine, and I'm living out the way the Irish were not allowed to be educated and speak their own language. So it's kind of like that's living out in me, combining those two strands in this body. And something I also want to say, it kind of goes off to one side, is I actually have thought, and I have, in my life, I have come together with people where there's been events that have happened, and I know that it connects with specific past lives. And it's been such a strong, almost visual experience that it's wow. It's like, yes, this is for real. And knowing when I've met those people, is I already know you, and then it connects sometimes through dreams, and it's like, oh my gosh, this person was in a dream that I had about Prague, and it feels like it was the 13th century, and it's, oh my gosh, I know where that person fits in. And it kind of like, it feels like working out issues with that person in this life. And it's like those strands come together in this very life right now. And maybe, obviously, it's not going to finish with this life, because there's other things that I'm going to have to work out. And then, because I don't think I'm going to finish with this life somehow. It feels like I've got more lessons to do. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Yeah.
Very insightful.
Thank you.
The lessons that sometimes when you meet people in the store or you're out and about and you just seem to connect with them, and you say, I know that person. How could I know them in this life? And you just pick up like you've always known them. And isn't it just the most wonderful thing when you have that soul connection with people, and they have so much to share with you, and then they're gone out of your lives. You may not see them again, but they've left an impression within you. I just really enjoy life in that way.
Pretty great, isn't it?
Yes, and you know, it's really funny when you think about it. It's not all a bowl of cherries, but the pits have their meaning.
That was the title of a Irma Bombeck book I remember from when I was very young, and it was, "If life's a bowl of cherries, why am I always in the pits?"
There must have been a reason, huh?
In her other book, "Why is the grass always greener over the septic tank?"
Why does the cow that had green pasture likes to reach over the picket fence and eat our prize roses? We would.
Okay, so it's probably a good idea to let Cindee get on her way. Does anybody else have anything that they wish to ask or say?
I just have one question. I didn't hear her mention anything about animals. Do you feel any soul or have heard any soul connection with animals?
Well, you know, there are different schools of thought on that. And so I would just say whatever resonates with you. That's what I've kind of struggled with that over the years because of the way that I was brought up. Animals do not have souls, but I've changed my mind about that. So you go with what feels appropriate for you.
I want to tell you about a cat I had that I raised from a newborn. So I raised him from which he still had the umbilical cord attached. Eventually, he was a beautiful cat. He got to be very big, and he was just a love cat. He was something else. And after he passed away, I had a dream where a lion came to me and stood up very straight. The way he used to sit on my chest and sit up very straight and look me straight in the eye. And this lion came and sat up very straight and looked me straight in the eye and said, "I'm not a pussycat, you know." I know it was my cat Cinco. I just know it was that same vibration, and he had gone on to be a lion, I guess, and he was letting me know he was very healthy, very special, and he wanted to share that.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Yes, I have a neighbor who broke 3 bones in her foot and shattered the bone up the back of her leg, and her caregiver had to go home for a few days. So I am going to go check in on her and see what she'll need for the next few days. But thank you so much. And Rick, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you getting this done, because I love seeing you.
Well, it's been wonderful, and blessings to everybody. And we'll do this again next week. And actually, we'll do this again Wednesday morning. Is that
I just
crazy?
wanted to say one more thing about that 11 o'clock meditation, AM or PM. I saw that it's from Bruce Lipton. So
Oh, yeah.
probably look it up on his site. For those of you who don't know Bruce, you might know Greg Braden. They often teach together.
Yeah, and I would just mention with Lipton, Bruce Lipton, you want to make sure that you read his book, The Biology of Belief, because that is the book that it's a crucial book to know, because of the evidence there for what we're talking about, for the intention, for prayer. Yeah.
Bye.
Anyway, thank you all. We're going to bring this to a conclusion, and I'll see everybody Wednesday, next Sunday. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Yes, you too. Good meeting. Good meeting.